Hi, today I'm going to play Roller Coaster Tycoon World. The first review I did of it when it first came out, it was pretty shocking, so I thought, it's been a few updates now, we're on update 5, so I thought, you know what, I'll give it a go. One thing I found out about this game really is it's all about taking your time designing it, so I'm going to load in a park I've already started, and we'll go from there, and I'll fly through the park and show you it, and you can make your own mind up really whether the game's any good or not. The user generated content on Steam is very impressive though. There's an awful lot of it, which makes the game a little bit more fleshed out than it really is. There's been some improvements on the roller coaster design front, on the graphics front, on the way that people run front. So you know, it's come together. The contender, Planet Coaster, its alpha is out this week coming, alpha 2, so it should be interesting to see how the two compare. It still takes an absolute age to load though, as you can see. I'm rambling on while it's trying to load. But I'll give you a quick tour of my park once it's loaded, and I'll run through a few of the things in the game. If it ever loads, when it loads. Come on! Okay, we're almost there. I'm excited. It might be because I've got a lot of user-generated content in the game. Still thinking about it. Come on. Alright, here we go. Oh, it's night time in my park. Okay. Okay, performance-wise, you can see it's struggling still a little bit, but I think it improves. Right, first things first, let's look at these guests. They actually look like they walk properly now. They don't have that sort of freaky walk they used to have. Oh yeah, welcome to my park. So, on the left I've got a Wild West world, which I'll come to in a minute, and on the right I've got a park with a load of user-generated content in it. So if we go down this part down here, as you can see, I've themed it up as Jurassic Park. So that's new. That's user-generated. That wasn't put in by the developers. And it's got the Jurassic Park car there, and we've got some dinosaurs and things. And if I can get the camera to work, let's pull out a bit. You can see the dinosaur there. And you go around and there's like a water ride here over the water. Look how pretty that's looking now. There's the reflections in the water and stuff. And one of the new rides is over here. This is one of the new rides I've put into the game. And let's just speed the action up a little. You might be able to see it in action. It takes a while to fill because there's an awful lot of spaces. Yeah, I've really gone to town on like trying to theme up a bit. That spotlight there, by the way, that's another user-generated content. That's not included in the game, but you can download it off the Steam Workshop. Steam Workshop works really well. Performance-wise, there does appear to be a little bit of an issue there. It seems to be jerking around a little. Never mind. Oh, is the ride starting? Oh, it's because I'm probably in ×3 speed. Nope, it's just the guys are very slow at loading. So yeah, they sit on this big disc facing outwards and it spins around and goes backwards and forwards on the track. Come on! My goodness, it's been like 3 days before this ride loads. So yeah, the raptors are there, they're all lit up with spots again. The spotlights are user-generated content, they don't actually exist in the game. In the base game, all downloadable from Steam Workshop. Steam Workshop is, you know, users have come good for the game and have actually produced a hell of a lot of new content for the game. Lots of theming, lots of different themes for your rides. This is just taking forever. Oh, hang on, is that the last seat there? Okay, so this is the new ride. Look, it spins around like that and goes backwards and forwards on the track. Speed up a little, like that. And you can ride it if you click on it somehow. There we go, we can go camera mode. It's horrible, but I've sort of done it with like raptors hanging over the track, so it looks like they're about to eat you, and then the ride pulls you away. Okay, so that's that area done. Hang on, if I can find my mouse cursor, I'll be able to just, there it is, exit the ride. And so I've done a load of theming. This ride here is like a water ride. It's hung over water. Oh, just clicked on someone by accident. Here we go, ride camera. So that's cool. I like the ride camera to work now on the ride, so they don't just break. And that's Jurassic Park World. On the other side, I've got some more new features. This thing here, this rocky formation is called a centerpiece. That's part of the ride, and you can part of the content, and you can actually put rides through it, and you can put paths through it. So if the guests come down my main path and hang a left and go through here, they walk through this tunnel, which I'm having real trouble controlling the camera. There we go, through the tunnel and into Wild West Town. The chemist on the right is user-generated content. These are some shops. That's in the game. The shop front here on the right is in the game. I can't really get a good view of it with this type path. And then there's the post office, which is user-generated. Lots of user-generated content. I've put a roller coaster in. The roller coaster is here. Is it filled up? Let's just speed things up to get it going. Oh, it's just empty. That might take a few seconds to fill up again. This is quite a big coaster. So the upward spotlights are user-generated content. You'll hear me say that a lot because, as I say, that really did what they've done. What the users have done has really added to the game. And the developers have got things sort of working properly now, and if I could slow the game down again, I might be able to just jump on this coaster car and show you that this is actually now performing well. It's not as bad as it used to be. I mean, the first time I'd done a coaster cam it was horrendous, and I find that actually sitting on the back seat of the coaster is generally better for the feels of the coaster. So yeah, you can actually build coasters quite nicely and quite take your time over it and tweak it. And I might have a quick go at building a coaster. The thing is, you have to take your time over them. It's not necessarily difficult, it just seems that it's really hard to build a good coaster. I used to spend ages tweaking the track and putting banks in on the corners to make sure that they don't go up too extreme. But anyway, this one seemed to pass the mustard, and it goes up, it goes round, and then goes through the scenery, straight through this bit of scenery here, tunnel, round a tight corner, and back again through that same bit of scenery into the station. All pretty cool. And I think the coaster cams are running much better than they were, so that's something, you know. They haven't added any more coasters to the game, but at least the coaster cams are better. So yeah, shadows still sort of jerk across the screen a bit. This is a ride that was added to the game by the developers, so it's like a kiddie coaster type ride. And there's one or two other new rides in the game. Oh, it would have gone night now, wouldn't it? Let me just speed the game up. Let's put it back to daytime. Come on, sunrise. One thing I do like about this game is you can actually lock night and day, so if you want to do all your sort of working outs and your laying outs during the day, you can. So here was an area I was working on, which is sort of like a gardened area. So say the game, a lot of the game is all about theming, so I haven't actually finished yet, but I started gardening this up. Put a couple of waterfalls in, and I've got to put more bushes and benches in and stuff for people to walk around. So yeah, Jurassic Park area is on the right, and that's sort of, I've walled it in with like hills and stuff, so it's not obvious from the entrance. And then the sort of Wild West Town is through the tunnel on the left as guests come into the park. So centerpieces, they added another centerpiece. If I want to do a sci-fi park, I might just want to do it on the end of here. So paths, let's go back to paths. I've changed the pathing system slightly in the fact that you can, there's a slider for the path size now, and you just select curved or straight there. I'm just going to put a straight path in. And let's pick a centerpiece, scenery, centerpiece, and I know there's an alien one here which is massive, it's this one. So that circle in the middle of there, you can actually put a coaster through that. I'm going to have a crack at doing that just now, quickly. Right, so that's in place, and let's build a coaster. Right, roller coaster. What sort should I build? Flying invert. They haven't added any more coasters to it. I mean, there's no kids coaster still. I guess it's happening at some point. Rawless coaster, flying coaster. Flying coaster, that'll do. I'll build a custom design. Let's get the station in. Oh, give it a sci-fi station. That's the sort of... That's annoying, it turned the angle around again when I picked the station. So there's a sci-fi station. I found it's easier to use keys to create lifts and stuff. So I'm just going to click plus and hold plus to get some height on the lift hill up to, let's say, 100 feet. Then we're going to swing round and try and come through that piece of scenery. Just going to come down a bit. And click, and I don't really know what height the scenery's at. I think it's around about 60 foot. I might be a bit high, I might be a bit low. Ooh. This could be tricky. Or I could be lined up perfectly, let's see. There we go. So I put the roller coaster through the piece of scenery. So that's pretty cool. I mean, it's not a particularly great coaster at the moment, but I think it's more a case of the demo of the fact it goes through scenery. I don't want to change that. I want to go to track. Oh, I'll see. I'll put a special piece in, like a loop or something. Let's see. There's lots of small loop right. I wonder if there's a large loop. Oh, a large loop won't fit. Put a loop in like that. Build a loop. I'm going to get another loop in. Oh, no. I'm not too sure how loops work like that. Okay. No. 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 I feel that I could probably get a loop in that goes around the track that's going down the drop if I get it right. Well, I'd say that was good, but it says invalid location for some reason. That's annoying. No real reason why it's invalid though. Oh, what the heck, let's just bank it back to the... Let's get it back to the station. So click over here, click it over here, maybe give it a bit of height just to give it a bit of interest. Click, lower it. Oh, I'm at the edge of the map, it's always awkward, and I think I've just come out of build mode. Okay, almost. Construct, edit coaster. There. I don't particularly want it to go into the wooden coaster. There we go. Autocomplete, finish. It's probably a terrible coaster. Let's test it and see. Oh, hang on, I haven't put a chain lift in. It's not going to go anywhere. So select that piece, go to mechanics and chain lift, and we'll slower. Give the chain lift a real speed. Right, okay, let's test. Test, test. It might not be any good. Again, got on the right camera, probably go to the... Ooh, let's go to the front. I think the roller coaster cam is now running much better than it was. At the first version I reviewed, it was terribly shaky and horrible, but now it just seems to run a much smoother route, much smoother action. So there you go, I went through that piece of scenery, down and round. I don't know if I'm going to make this loop, who knows. Fail, I didn't make the loop. Well, that sucked. So yeah, I'm going to have to adjust the coaster, so maybe make the loop with a bit of a weird shape loop and sort of flatten it out a bit. Or alternatively, I could just increase the height of the drop, the initial drop, to get more speed. Whoa, one more. Like that, and then you test it again. Testy test test. Oh, screw the ride cameras, just get it going. Is it being tested? No, hang on, test. There we go. And now I can put the right camera on. Now we're actually rolling. So yeah, I think the performance is starting to, you know, now something comes down the path. It's starting to shape up quite nicely, so now it's got a bit of a weird flat loop. And it failed again! Right, when all else fails, what I'll do is I'll go to that section there that I've got selected. Hopefully that, no, that's trying to select that section down the bottom there, or that section. I'm going to put a boost in on the loop, which is absolute insanity, but so yeah, it's still a little bit clunky. You have to hit the test button every time. It doesn't auto test as you go around, which is really frustrating. But let's go for it. And one of my rides is broken down. What? I'm really failing on the roller coaster. Maybe the boost didn't go in. A proper boost. Test. Test. So yeah, it's slightly annoying that, you know, you have to constantly keep testing and tweaking your coaster, but if you're into that sort of thing, you might really enjoy doing that. That might be a thing, being really meticulous with your design. Whoa, that's going somewhat. It failed because it overshot the yeah, okay, the test, it's like I can't win. Never mind. Okay, anyway, that's how you build a coaster, and I've shown that you can build it through a scenery, and it's a relatively easy thing to do now to build the coasters. I just fail a bit at doing it. This one I did earlier, this wooden one was fine, so it's just me being me. So what else have they done to the game? You can now change the paths rather than having to delete them and recreate them again. Just go to modify, pick a different paths type, and then you should just be able to... I'm not entirely sure how it works. There, did that modify that path? I think it did. Let's pick a different colour. There you go, there you go. So yeah, you can modify paths now. Paths are a little bit easier to control. As I say, the guests seem to move around a bit more sensibly now. There's no really weird, funky running going on. They do still sort of skip, which is a bit annoying, but you know, they move around and it's all cool. I do like the fact you can now put paths through scenery, and you can put arches over the paths and stuff. That's cool, and you know, you can theme up a bit. Staff are still staff. They don't really do much. The cleaners just turn up where they go. You don't really control them. The mechanics just go where they go. You don't really control them. I generally try to hide this sort of stuff out of the way of the park. So, you know, there's no changes there. People constantly complain they're hungry despite plenty of food stalls all around. And constantly complain they need a toilet even though there's toilets about. But the game does seem to be performing much better. Now if you can get it cheap, great. If you can't, leave it, because 30 quid, no. But the other thing I must say, and it's really testament to the community, is the user generated content. The amount that's coming out is insane. There are new bits, there's new park bits, there's... I'm not too entirely sure how much I've actually got in here, but I've got Fantasy Kingdom Collection, so I can like put archers and things in and build like a castle. If I want to do a Princess Castle style, this is stuff that's not actually in the game. So if I wanted to do a castle at the end of here, I could start putting walls in and start putting windows in and towers and stuff. Like that. So that's user generated content, I've only got some. A large floating fountain, there we go, someone's created a particle effect fountain that you could put in somewhere. Maybe like, here's an idea, so it's a floating one. I've got a ride here that's got water all around it. I could possibly put it in there. I've got to find it now, here. Oh, hang on, yeah, that's not the ride, that's not the water, that's the water. But I can actually... certainly makes it a bit more interesting. Might help if I put them on the water surface as well. User generated. What else have we got? We've got a Main Street Bakery, I've got a Coaster Gate, I'm in Jurassic Park stuff, Main Street Station, lights, various lights of sorts, and various lamps. So yeah, that's only a small selection of what's available on the Steam Workshop. So the game itself is starting to come along actually. I'm certainly a bit less negative towards it than I was when it first came out. When it first came out it was shocking. There's still an awful lot of work to do with the game. If you like to be meticulous and like spend ages building your perfect park, then yes, you've got plenty to do here. You've got plenty you can be getting on with. You know, the western section I done there quite reasonably quickly, but even then I've been putting rocks down and floodlights there to light the station up at night, so when it's night time, to make it night time, things light up properly. So yeah, if you can get it cheap and you want a roller coaster game and you really don't mind the fact that it's still a little bit well, when I say buggy, I wouldn't say buggy's a fair word, it's still rough around the edges, then yeah, it's worth getting hold of, I think. Is it worth 30 quid? Probably not. Not the asking price. Whatever the asking price is it 30 on Steam or 40? I don't think it's worth that yet. It's still full of slightly annoying bugs, and you don't feel like you're in control of the park too much. Like the staff, for instance, just do what they do, and that's frustrating. It's like I want to zone them. I want people to come off this ride, and if they're being sick, I want to be able to have a member of staff patrol this area. I don't want them to just magically turn up and sort it out. That's not managing a park. Yes, I created all this in sandbox mode as well. I haven't bothered with the actual scenarios. There are some scenarios in the game. Let me just come out of this. I think quit will get me back to the main menu. Bear with. Okay, let's go. So there is a campaign mode. Campaign's only got 3. The scenario, there's now 12 different scenarios to do. So yeah, there's a game to play here. I guess I should really have a go at it and see if I can actually play it and see if it's any good. I guess it's got management built in on these scenarios. I mean, I've generally been playing sandbox because you can add a load of extra content in the game. So Roller Coaster Tycoon World, yeah, definitely worth looking into if you want a roller coaster game and you want to spend ages and ages and ages building. But don't forget, Planet Coaster is out next week, Alpha 2, and they are adding a metric ton of roller coasters and stuff to Alpha 2. It looks amazing. I've been doing some preview videos and I've been watching them and I'm being like, oh my goodness, just let me get hold of this game. So horses for courses at the moment. If you can get this cheap, go for it. If you don't, if you just want to get Planet Coaster, one's enough, then yeah, Planet Coaster probably is the one to pick still. Okay, thanks for watching.